Hey, beautiful people of the internet, how are you guys doing today? Hopefully great. Welcome back to another Warframe video. Of course, we are going to be making another episode of budget builds where we use zero Forma and achieve maximum efficiency. So in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at Jade, aka the judgmental queen of Warframe. So starting off with her passive, it allows you to have 2 aura slots. This is very good because not only will you be able to have quite a potent frame, but you'll be able to go and utilize more mod capacity. Light's judgment, because the light is a person and it is it's going to judge you. Basically, you throw a grenade which creates a circle. Enemies within the radius get damaged and get marked by judgment. It also heals allies too, so that's what the first ability does. Moving on to the second ability called Symphony of Mercy, which plays 3 different songs produced by the Lotus record label. Now their names are the Power of 7, Deathbringer, and finally the Spirit of Resilience. Power of 7 grants more power strength, Deathbringer increases your overall weapon damage, and Spirit of Resilience makes you regenerate shields quicker, therefore it reduces the delay by quite the fraction. Of course, all of these abilities can be modified by power strength. Killing enemies that have been judged will extend the duration of each song. Anyways, you get to take a flight and start to look down on the enemies and you unleash your destructive power. Enemies affected by judgment explode, which heat damage, causing you to nuke the entire room. I don't know about you guys, but if you guys are able to go and apply a lot of heat damage, then you're able to just negate any form of armor and just eat through the enemy's life force without any problems whatsoever. Just like every other exalted frame, we have 2 builds, one for the frame itself and the second for the weapon itself. This is a zero Forma build and the build focuses on all the stats except we are neutralizing our duration. Now moving on to the build itself, for our auras we are going to be rolling around with steel charge and an aerodynamic. The only purpose of steel charge is just to give us even more mod capacity. Now for our duration, we are going to be using primed continuity and constitution, remember, just so that we can go and counter fleeting expertise, because even though that gives us more efficiency, we are going to be losing some duration. So precision intensify and transient fortitude just to give us more initial damage on our exalted based ability. Next up is we are going to be using streamline and fleeting expertise for much better energy economy, because remember, at the end of the day, we don't want to get caught with our pants down, especially when you're fighting up against high level enemies. Stretch for more range just so that we can have a much bigger area of effect. And finally, we are going to be adding our Archon mod known as Archon Vitality, and that's only because of the fact that we are able to go and double our heat damage. For every single heat instance, we're going to be applying double it. So essentially you'll be able to go kill the enemies twice as fast. I absolutely love this particular mod. In the arcanes department, we are going to be using Molt Augmented for more power strength for every enemy we go and kill. Essentially it's going to give you 60% extra power strength once that's max stats. And finally, Arcane Velocity for more fire rate. And as for the exalted weapon, we're just going to be focusing on pure heat damage and critical damage and base damage. We've got ourselves our Hornet Strike, we've got ourselves all of our heat damage, and of course primed target gambit cracker, and of course the critical damage version, basically just to make sure that we're able to go and apply a lot of heat damage and have base damage on top of everything else. So we're currently in the simulacrum and I'm going to demonstrate to you guys exactly how this particular build does perform when it comes to utilizing all of your abilities. But before I do that, I do want to talk to you guys about a secret arcane that is called Cascadia Flare. Now Cascadia Flare, on heat status effect, you'll gain 480% extra damage. Now this will give you a 12% initial base damage when you have it at rank 5, but we currently have the rank 4 just because I'm not cool enough for the other parts. With that being said, don't really worry about any of the mods we have on the secondary. That is all irrelevant. Honestly, the secondary is only designed to be a vessel to hold this particular arcane, because remember, Glory is considered a secondary weapon, therefore it does take in secondary mods. As you guys can tell, whole bunch of secondary mods. Now with that being said, let me show you guys exactly how to perform this particular build. So we're first going to spawn some enemies and max out our energy. hit L4, therefore we go into our alt, then hit the enemies with your 1, therefore you can apply judgments onto them. Activate your 2 to increase weapon damage, activate your 3 just because you have it, and hit them with your alt fire, and as you guys can tell, we're absolutely decimating the enemies. Now you guys have a choice. You can either just simply, hit them with your initial heat damage and just watch them burn to death, or you can just hit them again with your alt fire just to have even more satisfaction. Therefore you guys can just go and rain absolute fire onto them, entirely up to you. As long as you guys are happy, I am happy. But once again, hit your 1, make sure that they're all being judged fully, you can tell by the emblem on their heads, and just absolutely burn them to a crisp. And thanks to Archon Vitality, you'll be able to do dealing double the heat proc. Let's do that one more time because it's really fun just absolutely owning these enemies. Because I don't know about you guys, but nuking in Warframe is the only way to have fun these days. Until new content does come out, then it's vice versa. So once again, judge the enemies, make sure your number 3 is up, and then start obliterating them like so. And just sit back, relax, and just watch them be burned to a crisp. Ladies and gentlemen, I make some pretty awesome Warframe content. So if you guys would like to go from 0 to hero as fast as humanly possible, go ahead and take a look at the rest of my videos. There'll be some links down in the description, and of course some of them will be suggested to you guys at the top right. So I highly recommend you guys go ahead and take a look at them. Do remember to leave a like on this video. It always helps me out substantially. Spartan, hit the subscribe button for more Warframe videos and streams. I'm Mick like a banana and split.